Hello my dear friends, you're in the Military Summary channel, and this short video we're going to discuss the most important events that took place during the previous night of the local time. And we are going to discuss probably the missile strikes that took place in the south of Russia, in Taganrog, and of course the missile strikes that took place in Dnipro. First, let's start from the beginning. If you remember, yesterday Ukrainians using the S-200 missiles attacked the south of Russia. And probably, as we discussed in the previous video, the main purpose of those attacks were to hit and to destroy the Russian command center in Rostov-on-Don, in this settlement. As you know, usually there are a lot of higher officers in this area, like Valery Gerasimov, the head of Russian army. Probably there was Shoigu, the Minister of Defense of Russian Federation, and that was attack against them. And as I told in the previous videos, the Russians took a decision to make another act of revenge, and as a result of revenge, the Russians made massive missile strike against Dnipro. And as a result of that attack, the entire building of the special forces of Ukraine, SBU, was destroyed. And a lot of people were killed as a result of that attack, or a lot of people were buried under the ruins. Later that night, we got some notes from some messages from this region, where the local authorities, local hospitals, asked the required people to support and to come to the hospitals and to give them their blood of third and fourth group. So that was like the actions that took place during the previous night. And we have more videos of that building. This is the results of that attack. The building, as you can see, has been almost destroyed till ruins. This is another building. This is a residential area. Probably either the Ukraine air defense rocket destroyed the building, or the Russians probably have lost their direction and hit the Ukraine residential area. But this is not so important, because the most important, what was the Russian purpose and what was the Russian target. At the beginning of the story, I told you that Ukrainians, probably according to my understanding of the situation, was trying to hit and destroy the Russian command center in Rostov-on-Don. And if you remember, a few days ago, Vladimir Zelensky visited Dnipro, and this event took place on the 27th of July, so the day before yesterday. And during that meeting, Vladimir Zelensky congrats Zaluzhny, the head of Ukraine army, and gave him some award with probably like personal gun, as you can see on this video, and so on. So as I understand, that was, by the way, the biggest failure and the biggest mistake of Zelensky, because he visited Dnipro, he discovered his position, and the most important, Zelensky discovered position of the most important and the most powerful people of Ukraine. So basically, at starting, or at least on the 27th of July, Zaluzhny and Zelensky were in that settlement. And now we understand the purpose and the story and the base of Russian attack. It was a mirror attack. The Ukrainians attacked the Russian headquarters, and probably Zaluzhny was located in Dnipro, and probably Zaluzhny had his office or was located, or probably during the day he was in that SBU building. And the Russians just basically made a mirror attack and tried to kill Zaluzhny as well. So as I understand, we are launching another wave of different story. Shoigu, where is Zaluzhny? So let's wait, because from now on, at least, I consider Zaluzhny as a wounded person or killed person. We need time to get first video of him where we can find that he is okay. But for now, he will be considered, according to the Military Summary channel, as a wounded or killed general. One more time. Now we're moving to the situation on the ground, and first we're going to start with Orekhov Square, with Orekhov area, with Bradley Square. We haven't received almost nothing since during the previous night, just a video on the western flank of Robotyne, northwestern flank of Robotyne. We haven't received any video from this area since the beginning of the Ukraine's greatest counter-offensive operation. On this video, we see how the Ukrainians were trying to make evacuation operation. They were trying to evacuate their wounded soldiers. So the situation on this flank is static. No movements, no changes, just irregular things without any attempts of offensive operation in direction of Russian positions. Now we are moving further to Vremivka tactical bridgehead. The Ukrainians published videos of their artillery strikes on the south of that settlement. During the previous days, the Ukrainians made significant advances They managed to capture the settlement Staromayorsk, the entire settlement. Then they were forced to left the southern part, and currently they have their positions on the northern. But for now, it's enough for the Ukrainians, because before moving further to the south, they need to finish the situation with Urozhaine, and they don't need to capture the entire south of the settlement. They need just to have the northern control with the northern part. And on this video, we see all those explosions that you could see on the video took place in these 4 different points. The Ukrainians were trying to suppress Russian artillery, to destroy Grad systems, artillery systems, and so on before the next wave of attack, or before even that wave of attack that took place in Staromayorsk. Now we're moving further to Donetsk, and today we got another video from Nivoyska. The Russians continue bombing, shelling the Ukrainian positions. This video is geolocated, and as you can see, this video took place exactly on the Ukrainian defense belt, not on the Russian. There are Ukrainian armored vehicles, and one of the armored vehicles got under fire and was destroyed, and after that the Russians captured the video of that. If we increase the number of from this area, we see that like we got at least 3 icons, 3 events that took place exactly in this area. So the first 2 during the week took place in the vicinity of Nivoyska itself. We got the video of bombings of trenches in front of that settlement, and all those events were made by the Russians. On this video we see how the Russians were hunting the Ukrainian tank, and on this video we see another hunting operation for the Ukrainian tank. So we see that the Russians are trying to check and trying to find the weak position in the Ukrainians defense belt, and probably the Russians during the next days will try to make another attempt to attack Nivoyska from the south, a little bit to the south. They will not attack in front of the settlement, and will try to bypass and to encircle this area from the south, and to split Nivoyska from Krasnogorovka, because we understand that the main purpose of Russian offensive operation in this area is to encircle Krasnogorovka. When talking about Klishchievka area, we haven't received much update during the previous night, just the only video, how the Russians published the video, how they managed to track and to hunt the Ukrainian personal armored carrier that was trying to redeploy probably the infantry, or maybe it was empty. But anyway, as a result of FVP drone strike, the machine lost their possibility to be controlled, and after that this machine got on minefields. As you can see on the bottom of this video, the driver managed to escape and evacuate, and he basically saved his life, but the entire armored vehicle was destroyed on the minefield. Just one thing about the southern area, the Russians published the video how they managed to redeploy the French tank AMX-10RC to the Mariupol. So this completely, as you can see, correct tank without any issues, any problems. I believe that the Russians will disintegrate this armored vehicle in parts, and will try to make their own investigation, and they will improve their own weapon. Because as you know that this special military operation gave a lot of ideas to the Russian engineers, and at least the Russians made during the special military operation have already created and engineered the artillery system complete, like a copy of Caesar, the French artillery systems that works on the same like way. So for now we haven't seen such type of weapon in the field massively, but I believe in a half a year we're going to see the Caesar analogs from the Russian side. The Ukrainians during the previous day and night made few attempts to attack Russian positions on the north. The Ukrainians were trying to develop their offensive operation from Vasyukovka, and the main purpose of the Ukrainians was to capture the settlements Saka and Vanseti, and to develop their bridgehead on the south of Fedorovka and Razdolovka. The Russians managed to discover the Ukrainian movements, the Ukrainian positions, and they bombed the Ukrainians heavily. Also, these areas, of course, mined, and the Ukrainians, as you can see, was trying to attack from different directions. There were a lot of forces involved in that operation. Of course, not like hundreds or dozens of soldiers or thousands of soldiers, just few battalions or brigades. But anyway, as a result of those clashes, the Ukrainians were completely defeated, and of course were forced to step back. And that's it for this short video. Military Summary channel reminds to condemn any violence in the world. Thank you for your watching. Subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good day. Bye bye.